Good morning, good morning. I can't say that now because Brittany took a video and had one of our children mock me in a cute way, in a very cute way. But it's so funny. But anyways, good morning. It's Monday. I hope you're having a great start to your week. It's the morning show. We've got Martinez here in the Zoom room. We've got, of course, my lovely wife, Brittany, on my right, making things happen. And we're live all over the place: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and of course, TikTok in the house. But anyways, let me pull my iPad up just a little bit. That way y'all can hear Martinez and all of his wisdom, all of his nuggets of wisdom. Are you with us, Martinez?
Oh, I wasn't sure that was my chime in.
Oh, you're good.
Happy Motivational Monday.
Motivation, momentum is a matter of fact. Let me pull up the chat. I'm a little off my game right now. Let's see here. Anybody in the chat yet? I'll refresh just to make sure. No, I don't.
Is there maybe someone's seen something or had something miraculous happen today for them? You know,
bam! Miraculous Monday.
Maybe this is the first day of a new job that they didn't think they had a snowball chance in Hades of getting. And they
I was like, there's more to that.
Miraculous Monday.
Yeah.
You know,
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. It's a brand new week. Again, this is one of our kind of cherished times to get together, get things going. And Brittany, how are you feeling this week? You feeling good? Mm-hmm. Are you excited? You got your first sale.
I did.
Get your first sale, rocking the Mother's Day gift.
You know, that's exciting.
Whoa. First sale?
Yeah.
I didn't know we were in business.
Well, then it's a great time to tell you about it.
Yeah,
yes,
I make wooden roses.
Wooden roses.
Is that the name of the Wooden Roses? Every rose is made of wood.
Yeah.
No, so Rose, she's like, honest to God, she is killing it in scroll sawing, furniture flipping, all that kind of stuff. But she has kind of taken a direction into scroll sawing, and she made this design. It's a beautiful flower that's like do you have a picture of it on your phone or something that we can just kind of? But honest to God, I saw it and I was like, that is a killer Mother's Day gift. And she was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So she just like threw something up on Facebook. Like you can't really tell from that, but like that's a
Oh, is that white?
Yeah, of course, the color's customizable.
yeah. So that's all wooden. The rose, as you can tell, is has a dimension, adds a dimension to it. It's beautiful. It really is. It's a neat deal.
It's wooden, and the rose is MDF.
Yeah.
I always feel like I need to clarify that because that way people are like, it's not.
It's not a real, like, everything has to have a disclaimer nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
False advertisement.
Rose is a cut piece of wood formed to look like
This
a
is
rose.
MDF. Refund me my $35.95.
But yeah, she's just run that as a Mother's Day special. It's a neat little gift for $30. Like, I was like, dude, my mama might be getting a rose. Mama, you might be getting a rose. This lovely Mother's Day approaching. Anyways, we're having a good time.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on the first sale.
Thank you.
That is absolutely the way you do it. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that's really good.
It's funny though, you could usually like celebrate your first sale, woo, and that's great. But then I immediately feel the pressure because I'm like, yeah, that's great. Now I got to go make
Get to scrolling.
Yeah, like I got to go make sure it all comes together.
Yeah. Oh, you'll
The
define it.
pressure's on.
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
The truth is, she's fine. She's a beast.
I know.
A few more sales and I'm ready to go to Shark Tank.
All in. Ready to go to Shark Tank. O'Leary, I'm looking for you. I want a wonderful deal. Okay.
For a 2% stake in the business.
Yeah, for sure.
I want $5 million.
$5 million. That's awesome. So anyways, we're getting the week started, kick-started with an idea, a topic. If you're new to the morning show, basically we set a precedent to get a conversation started, to get our minds stimulated, to get motivated, Actually, no, we don't get motivated. We don't get motivated. Brittany told us about the weaknesses of motivation, and it was so funny. We were on a Zoom, and one of the kids was like, yeah, it's kind of well, I guess it's not motivating because Brittany said that's probably not good.
I do want to clarify. I am not anti-motivation. Yeah, I am pro-consistency. I'm not anti-motivation.
I'm not anti-motivation. I'm pro-consistency. That's
Yes.
good. I like it. I like that.
Not to say that you're PC.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Come on. That's great.
I'm motivation and consistency.
Right. MPC.
I'm not. It's not an acronym.
Acronyms.
But,
Acronyms. So I'll tell you something I was thinking about this morning because me and Martinez were kind of back and forth on some ideas for this week's show, and he gave me some really good kind of clarifying questions, and I kind of sealed the deal for me this morning. I was listening to a podcast, and it had the great John Maxwell. Everybody know who John Maxwell is? If you know who John Maxwell is, say something or leave a comment, one or the other. John Maxwell, one of the greats. All right. Leadership guru, leader of leaders, John Maxwell. And he was talking about a story of his life when he very first got started in pastoring. He had just graduated, and he had a mentor approach him and ask him something that changed his life forever. One question changed his life. It actually helped him become who he is now. And that mentor said, John, let me ask you something. What is your personal plan for growth? What's your personal plan for growth? John said, I don't have a plan. I've never even really thought about. I didn't know that you had to plan to grow. And that's kind of an interesting distinction between us and the rest of creation, in the sense that, like, trees, they just automatically grow, right? They're going to fulfill their potential. They're going to do their, but for us, we actually have the choice, the dignity of choice to ask ourselves, how are we going to grow as a person? I'm not talking necessarily physically, right? Obviously we're going to grow. But what I'm saying is, as a person, as someone that is growing into, like, what are we doing around that idea of growth? What do y'all think about that? Between Martinez, Brittany, either one of you is fine. But what when you think about growth, what do you think about personally in terms of development and growth?
Anybody? Ferris Bueller.
Oh, did somebody raise? Oh, you're like pointing down.
I was waiting on Martinez. I was like, you go.
You go.
Oh, okay.
Not all at once. Not all at once.
Well, I was just thinking, I think, to ask the question, what's your personal plan of growth? I could see where Mr. Maxwell wouldn't have an answer to that, because, historically, growth has just come naturally. We just kind of things grow by its own. Children grow. There's no plan for them to grow. They just, things just kind of are on a kind of a automatic, plan. And so it's kind of but in a way, trees, yeah, they grow and everything, but in a way, they kind of have a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
even though seemingly they don't. They have there's a system in place that's already it's divine, that says, okay, this is the plan. This is the 4 seasons. Okay, then fall and winter, this spring, summer, that. Then you grow and bloom, and then in fall you come back down. The plan, the ecosystem stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be easy not to have a personal plan of growth. It would be easy not to let that be by default.
Mm-hmm.
The most plans of growth is just okay, the education system or whatever, they're the ones that educate me, that my people tell me what to do, I show up. That's the plan of growth. So it's really been dictated upon us, or it's just been automatic. It's never been something that we've actually had to engage, or we've learned how to engage, growing, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think we live in a society now where self-help is so readily available. In personal growth, there are aisles and aisles in libraries of self-help, personal growth, pages and pages on social media, or online libraries. But I will say, I think at its core, what's the question? Are you asking me? What's my idea of what am I doing?
Yeah, what would number one, is that kind of oh wow, I've never thought of it that way, or hey, you know what? The truth of the matter is, I do kind of have my ideas for growth. How do we grow? How do we grow? Because
Truthfully,
we're telling the truth.
Yeah,
we ain't lying.
I think. Can you tell he's the loud one and I'm not? He's the one that's like, "Good morning," and I'm like, I'm halfway through second cup.
Yeah,
but
it ain't hit yet.
Yeah, it ain't hit yet. No, I think it's important to. The first key, in my opinion, to true growth is be ready to try. Did you know a toddler, while trying to figure out how to walk, falls 15 to 20 times per hour when they're trying to walk?
What?
On an average, a normal toddler falls 15 to 20 times per hour trying to learn to walk. And inevitably, that child learns to walk. How? Trying.
By trying.
Trying, and here's the thing. Be prepared to fall, but be just as prepared to get up. And be prepared to fall. And be prepared to get up. Until finally, all of a sudden, I'm walking, and within that is growth. So I think as long, I'm not trying to like cancel out self-help. Like, oh my God, Mel Robbins is the first person that made me think of this. So there you go.
Yeah.
You know, that she was my coach in that. But yeah, if you want to grow, try.
Yeah.
Be prepared to fall. Keep trying. That's the bottom line. So for me, the way I prepare for growth is I just try. I just try something, you know, like just go, you know, do it. Buy the scroll saw. You help me with that. Buy the scroll saw. Make the thing, you know, buy the furniture, flip the thing. Like,
Just
you
do
know,
it.
Just try it. Try
Just
it.
do
And
it.
you know what? You know, it might not, listen to me. I tried cabinets. I tried, you know, China cabinet hutches. And you know what? I fell. I'm not going to buy hutches anymore. They're harder to sell. But, you know, you try and you keep going. Fall, get up.
And that's actually I was gonna say, you know, to your point, you know, what was a kind of a personal thing. So even with some of the stuff that you're doing in your own personal business, you're finding yourself constantly in a place where, man, I have to try. Like I can't, like it's just not automatic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we see that and we're like, okay, just try. That sounds so simple. But why is the truth about trying actually not simple? Why is it so difficult to say, hey, I'm going to try this?
Probably because at some point in your life you have failed in some kind of way, and that has created this fear of, you know, I think you put a lot of your self-worth in whatever it is you're trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if I fail, then I'm everything I've told myself I am negatively, you know, or if I, you know.
Well, was the question, why is it so hard to grow? Is that what you said?
Well, so as she gave a great analogy about growing is, you know, about trying and stuff. And so I wanted to follow up with that in terms of why is it sometimes it's so difficult to try? Like, why is it that we find ourselves not wanting to try, that whether it's a fear, you know, we're holding ourselves and so what's your take on that? Why do you, if growth comes from trying, knowing that you're going to fail, why don't we do more of it?
I think why it's so hard
Good
for us
morning.
to try potentially has something to do with the fact that the most of our days of our lives are reactive, you know, like as far as we eat because our stomach tells us that we're hungry. You know, we sleep because we're tired. We go to work because we know we need to pay. You know, as children, you know, like we are not in the mindset to actually be like be conscious of, you know, the of actually being intentional. You know, everything is again dictated upon us. But as we grow, we become more responsible. We have to answer questions like, who are we? Like, what do we want to do for the day? And so, like, we then have to come out of the reactive hemisphere and become like more intentional. And a lot of us don't have a lot of experience in that area where we've actually concentrated, focused, and decided, hey, there's an objective that I want to achieve. Okay, it's uncharted territory for us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you know, we're kind of like a kite in a hurricane when it comes to like achieving stuff. We don't know how to go about it. We don't know how to believe in ourselves because we just haven't. Again, everything's been dictated upon us. If you want personal growth, if you want like something to happen in your life, you're going to have to kind of like cut the fat, become focused. When I say cut the fat, you have to be a little bit more intentional. And that, I think, is scary for some people. We as a general population, people just haven't had that much experience in an area. And so it's kind of like, repetition is the mother of learning. And the only thing we've really had repetition in, on the most part, is just like people telling us where to go and what to do. And, as far as if that's personal growth, sure, I guess you can find some growth in that. But like when it comes to like each person making their own way, finding out who they are and plugging from the system or the powers that be to find out, okay, then as far as trying, I think it's just uncharted territory. And so it's like there's likely some fear in that, but does this make sense at all? Am I just like chiming?
No, you're in fact, the comments they're talking about, they're saying, a factor.
Wait, before we go any further, Mark Henderson, that is awesome. Like, get you some MDF and some plywood and just play.
Mark just got a scroll saw, everybody. So we've got some scroll saw fist bumps going on there.
Yes.
And we got Anna Joyce on the morning show this morning. Hi, baby. Good morning.
So Kayla said fear of failure and disappointment, which I totally agree. Fear of losing what has already been gained. That's deep. That hits different.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is that you are your own worst critic.
All the time.
And so you're going to have these fears.
If you're not, you need to get some better friends.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
If you're not your worst, if you have somebody that is a peer or someone around you that is a worse critic than you are,
yeah,
you need to change that up because, man, we're so hard on ourselves.
We are. And so I think the idea of fear of losing what's already been gained, that probably, that can be deep rooted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, when you're striving for growth, you are never not gaining. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we're not talking about winning.
Yeah.
We're talking about growth. And sometimes the greatest growth is done when losing. So, that to me is reminding yourself, it's not that I'm not going to always win, but I'm always going to grow.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And what's funny is it's kind of like when it comes to the fear, the acronym that a lot of people use for fear is false evidence appearing real. In other words, whatever my fear is, it's this whatever the evidence is, it's not even real. Like in other words, we worry about so many things that actually never even come to fruition. It never even happens, but we spend so much time worrying about it. And to me, there's almost this part of the thought of growth. Growth is it's not about growing into what you're doing, but it's about growing into who you're becoming. Like in other words, for instance, let's go with this scroll sawing thing. The truth of the matter is, your skill is way beyond your identity, in the sense that this idea of like, I don't know, can I do this? Is it going to be that good? The truth is, the skill is already there. And the reason there's maybe not enough credit being given is because maybe you've not grown into, like, I think I'm using that as an example of like, is that what we all do somewhat in our gifts? The truth is, our gift is here, but we've not grown into our gift to accept our gift. Does that make sense? Like, I don't even want to call myself a scroll sawer. Yeah. I don't want to call like Martinez, when you got into real estate, how long did it take you before you finally were like, yeah, I'm a real estate agent? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Right. It's kind of like, if you flip a house, does that make you a flipper? No.
Right.
You like, you like, maybe if I flip like 30 houses, that makes me like a professional flipper or something. But I think, right. I think there's that cutting ourselves short and not recognizing that once we do something once, if we had a successful day, now I don't think you go overboard, with, hey man, I made my first sale, or I did my first flip. I'm an expert, like here I am. I had this baby. I got married, about 3 years ago. And the first thing I told Robbie, I think I'm gonna start doing seminars on successful marriages.
Yeah.
I was like,
Before you had your first real fight, right?
I got a baby, and I'm like, I need to put out some material out there, how people to teach people how to have to raise a child correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like that's overboard. You know what I mean? But I think there's. I don't think you need to do that, but I also don't think we need to sell ourselves short as though we don't have it. It's not in us to do. I think we do have something to offer,
Yeah.
So, but as far as personal development, that's like, I guess, just feeling, just being intentional and learning that, or believing that you have something to offer, and just believing in yourself. But I love that quote someone said, Brittany, like the fear of not losing what you've already gained, or something like that. I mean, like, what? The what?
Yeah,
what?
that's
What?
Kayla. That's what Kayla said. Fear of losing what has already been gained. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I love that. But the thing about it is that is coming from, in a way, a lack mindset. A spirit of lack, man. It's not coming from a place of abundance.
You're exactly right. Because if you're thinking about losing the money that you've earned because of the attempt of growing more income, that's you're right. That's a lacking mindset in that regard. Yeah.
And so, like, in a way, that maybe that's where some of us come from, as far as personal development or planning. We're coming from, well, it's like, it's kind of like, what if this happens? What if that happens? I mean, I don't have, we kind of like self-doubt, fear, whatever. It's not coming from a place of someone. It's like, it's not coming from a place of abundance. I think, it's like of goodwill. It's kind of reminiscent of Adam being told, hey, telling God, hey, I was naked, I was this, and in the garden, and he's like selling himself short. It's like, is that woman you gave me? It's like, of course, before Adam telling him it's that woman you gave me, God's like, who told you that? Who told you were naked? Who told you? It's like, so that self-doubt that started back then, that cutting yourself short, all that adds into, like, our inability to plan for the future or plan for development.
Well, and I'll tell you, this is, at least for me, like something that is an example, like, and I heard somebody say this one time, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly right. So for instance, let's just take a simple idea for growth. Okay. Keeping on that. I want to read a book because the book will help me grow. It's got information, right? John Maxwell says people change when they learn enough that they want to. That's one example of change and growth. But the fear is, well, what if I get the wrong book? What if the book is no good? What if, right? And I heard somebody talk about that, and they said there is no way that you can get the wrong book. And here's why. By you engaging in that activity and discovering that that book is, quote unquote, not for you, you have now grown, because you perhaps have eliminated a path, an option, whatever. So that book, regardless of what it was or is, it forced you to engage in growth because you now grew in the idea of, okay, that's not your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes back to the whole trying thing. Try until you find out that's not your thing. And I say that real tongue in cheek because I do think we are in a situation now where like there's a lot of trying, and to your point, Martinez, a lot of trying and not a lot of focusing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just all over the place. We're going to kind of hear, but like if you're doing trying, that's leading to elimination so that you can focus on the one thing or the, whatever couple things that you are good at. Again, you're growing by identifying, what it is that you really are good at. You about to say something? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. You look because it's about to say it is 8:30. Yeah, it's 8:30. So we've got to wrap it up. So this week we're talking about growth, talking about getting better, but what we'll dive into moving forward, because we hit a couple of these words in the frame of growth, the things that cause us to grow, things like mentors, coaches, resources, what are the things that are helping us to grow, and what does growth actually look like? So that's the topic for the week. We gotta hop out. Hey, good morning. No worries. Good morning, Becky. Glad you're here with us. But we're gonna wrap it up again. Wherever you're at, share this stream, share this show. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that good stuff. TikTok, and we'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow.